Sometimes I'll start a sentence, and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way.
But I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. Pretty cool! Pretty damn cool!
It's only a game. All you have to do, man.
Calm down, Greg, it's soccer.
And you can't stay off the weed!
This guy's such an idiot here.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Like an improv conversation. Improversation.
What's the difference between acquitted and mistrial?
Being acquitted and a mistrial.
Yeah. Completely random to start this week's improvisation, but
Wow, the first thing that comes up.
well, we won't say who we're allegedly talking about.
Yeah, it was overturned, right?
Okay, but what's the can you put in difference between mistrial and acquitted, right?
I love experimenting with different Oz's. It's the best.
Yes.
The Great Oz.
The Great Oz, the third reincarnation of Oz.
Yes,
What did you call it?
Mistrial.
Acquitted versus mistrial, right?
correct.
This is where we're going to start the show. We're going to give you guys a quick little law lingo, Law and Order. Every time I hear that, I think of The Office, where he's, are you the guy that did the full scene from Law and Order? It's like, yep, that was
Classic.
me. Yeah.
Classic, dude. Classic. I've been watching so much Office recently, too.
Have you?
Yeah.
It's a great show. What season are you on?
We are almost done season 4. No, we're done season 4. We're on season 5. No. Yes, we're on season 5.
Is season
let's
five?
go.
I didn't know how I was supposed to introduce you.
I have it as here as well. So Mike, can you read that from there, or on Oz's screen? Are you able to read that?
I can read it a little bit.
All right,
there.
fire it up.
Yeah, read the first one.
In the event of a mistrial, the defendant is not convicted, but I'm sorry, it's a little tough over here. I'm actually enjoying this challenge right now. But neither is the defendant acquitted. An acquittal results from a not guilty verdict, a non-guilty verdict. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I'm surprised I was able to read that. Again,
Congrats, good job.
I just love showing off how good my eyesight is. Yeah, that makes sense. Like one's a wash and the other one's, a win for one side of the group. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I thought a mistrial ended up being like
An acquittal or like I don't know if that's an actual word.
Yeah, I think it's a word. But I thought mistrial was when they're like they can't reach a verdict on the jury. Is that what you said? Sorry,
No.
A
mistrial
I thought that's
can
what
be-
it was. It's
I
like,
think-
we can't figure it out. The jury can't come to a conclusion. It's got to go.
I
Like
think
you
a
can't go into
mistrial-
quadruple overtime.
Yeah, that could be a possibility. I don't know if there's the jury can't come to a decision. I don't know what happens after that, but
A mistrial is a trial that's not completed. Yeah.
It's one reason.
Yeah,
Okay.
see, they couldn't
a
come.
hung jury. There you go.
Also a trial that's not.
Good for you.
A trial
And then-
that's not completed.
And then, I also thought it was like something happened within the trial that was like illegal that caused a mistrial or something like,
Yeah, it can be declared invalid.
yeah,
Yep.
like something made the trial invalid and caused it. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I
it
mean,
says that.
very
Like,
random
no
to start the show.
It was improvisation because we were just talking about someone who just their trial, whatever. It doesn't matter. But
Yes.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to another Improvisation, your end of the week Feel Good Friday show. If you guys are new to the show, remember to hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen.
Smash, smash.
My dad told me to stop vaping on the show. I just want to say, Dad, this is just another thing for me to disobey you on. Sorry.
Charlo, I've been trying to tell him that since episode maybe 19 of the older podcast. Leave a comment or a review. Comment on Mike's vaping. We encourage any and all types. Follow us on our social media pages at Improvisation Pod on Instagram and TikTok, at Improvisation P on Twitter. And as always, check out Bean Bundle. Use promo code IMPROV25. Fresh and different coffee beans for you and your loved ones to try. Delivered right to your door. Promo code IMPROV25 for 25% off your month-to-month subscription. Visit beanbundle.com for more.
2-5 is right, this one.
It is. Shut it 4-5.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
my
I
bad.
almost put up 5, my lord.
5. Pick number 3.
Number 3, my lord. So, we got a bunch of little topics to go on today. We're going to play some games. A friend of
I love
ours,
games.
Oz 2.0,
Games.
had suggested we play Would You Rather.
Yep.
So I found a website with 250 best would you rather scenarios.
Damn.
So that's a lot. So we're
Damn.
going to do a few,
Okay.
and we'll do this for weeks on end because
Okay.
it's the middle of the summer, August, September. I mean, football's going to start soon, but there's really no hockey news going on.
You know
Like,
what? I'm looking forward to less sports almost because I want to get more into like movies. And
yeah, for sure.
that sort of thing. Trivia would be a lot of fun. 'Cause
Yep.
I could school your ass. And,
Well, Oz can find some random movie trivia for us if we do like maybe 2000s movies trivia, whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll do some of that, but I've got a number generator
I
here.
forgot about this guy.
I got a number generator here that we're going to have to plug in 1 to 250. So we'll hit the dice. If it's number 25, we'll go to the 25th would you rather question.
I like it.
And we'll do a few. We'll try and banter and give some commentary off that. Just
like
basically
it.
the best of what we do.
I noticed your headset was like that a little bit almost. And
Axwell?
I did a whole episode with my headset, my headphones like that.
Do you think we could do it like Axwell?
no one,
'Cause he
no one can
DJs
do it like Axel?
When he DJs like this?
no eyes, no eyes.
No eyes. No eyes.
Oh shit.
Will you have eyes on the Maple Leafs show that's going to be released on Amazon in October?
You know what? You saw my
All or Nothing, Toronto Maple Leafs.
you saw my comment on
You and a
Instagram?
million other people from the GTA, not even from the GTA, but just a million people online.
yeah.
Spoiler alert, it turns out to be nothing.
It wasn't my best work.
I mean,
I thought of that right away when I saw the title. I was like, well, we know how this ends. Nothing. And then I went to comment it and I was like, fuck, everyone else commented the same thing. And I was like, fuck, I'm going to do it anyway.
yeah, fair enough. I took a
just said
crack at a joke myself because the show is called All or Nothing, the Toronto Maple Leafs, right? Because they do it for multiple teams. They've done it for Manchester City, Liverpool. Pretty sure they've done it for the Cowboys, another team in the NFL. But it says, so All or Nothing, Toronto Maple Leafs. And I said, first round exits or nothing, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Just basically implying like that's literally what happens in Toronto. You either get a first round exit or, well, nothing happens.
Well, both are nothings to me.
Both are nothings. You said you had sent to me on Instagram. Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. You had sent to me on Instagram the apparently there was a trailer for it.
Yes.
Okay,
And
well-
it was, I mean, it looked great.
Can we play the audio? I'm pretty sure we can play the
play
audio.
the
We
audio.
won't get plugged. All right, we'll play the
Even
audio.
if we do,
So.
you know?
I feel our
free
team's
advertising.
slipping. That's not what we want to be about. We're a
thanks.
lot better than that collectively. Let's
Yeah,
go
he
win a
does.
game. Come on.
Come on.
54 years since the Leafs' last championship.
I think we're starting to see them grow up as a team.
And yeah, we lost again. But what happened behind closed doors is a story you'll want to see.
Then I don't know what the is going to happen. My patience is running thin.
Is it? Is it?
We have to live
I'll give some
success that we all aspire to.
Communication off the ice is very important. So this is where it starts.
Sculling balls into the neighbor's yard.
That's jokes.
This is the raw, uncut version of our family life.
Sometimes you're like, this is tough. And you got to find that belief to continue fighting.
This is tough.
His game's great, his mullet's even better.
That didn't age well.
Notice how they end with our boy Bill Nylander.
Yeah.
Um,
Dude, did it give me goosebumps? Absolutely.
I was gonna say
Did
it gave me goosebumps.
Yes.
You know what? Obviously, it's kind of cool for us to see because it's the Toronto Maple Leafs, but
It's something you always wonder, though, right?
Absolutely.
Like, as a fan, for me at least, I always wonder
behind the scenes,
what is going on behind closed doors because something better be going on. So I'm really excited to see that part of it. I think, even though they didn't win and that we know how it ends.
5 episodes apparently is how
I'm
long
sure it
is.
could have been 10 if they
They're
went
probably
a little
aiming
further,
for 7, I would think, around there. Yeah,
that's rough, man. They ran out of footage. Like they must have had to pull that together with like half the footage that they expected.
A couple things because I'm going to bring up the footage, but you had also touched on a point I was going to say is it doesn't matter if it's the Leafs, any team, any sport, behind the scenes shows like this are always incredible to watch.
Absolutely.
It's always so fun to see. And I had really got into F1 in the past couple months, and it all has to do with the show on Netflix.
I haven't watched
Drive
it
to Survive. It's fantastic. And I remember reading on Twitter when the races came back a couple months ago, it's like, I never thought I'd be finding myself on Sunday morning watching F1 racing. All has to do because of the Netflix show. So that's why teams do this, like Hard Knocks for HBO. Right? I think the Cowboys are doing it this year, which is obviously pretty cool, but you don't get the full picture, right? Like the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I heard this on the way over here, the Toronto Maple Leafs definitely have a final say on what gets put in there, what where the camera guys are allowed to go, because you had pointed out Dubas and we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen here. That's
patience is wearing thin here, guys.
You're not gonna see Mitch Marner and William Nylander and Austin Matthews roll them over in those negotiations. You're not gonna see that kind of crap. You're gonna see them at the draft table, preseason, injuries, COVID protocols, all that.
You know what? I wonder.
It's gonna be interesting.
I wonder how it works from a legal standpoint. Now we're going full circle back to law.
Yes.
I wonder because. There's obviously something within the contract.
I wonder if this one's for you, Mr.
I wonder. Nope, definitely not. Yeah, anyway. Mr. Ollivander.
Anyway.
That's, Harry Potter, Philosopher's Stone.
Yes, it is.
The first 15 minutes of the movie.
Harry trying to find his wand. The wand chooses you, Mr. Potter. Oz 3.0, she's new to this, so it's gonna be quite the eye-opening event.
Anyway, back to law. Like,
yes.
I wonder what it says in the contract. Like, if they're allowing them to film and they said they signed off on like you can use anything that you film,
no chance,
because they control where and when they're allowed to film, then I bet you they're allowed to use any footage from that standpoint. Just because I know people within like the film industry, right?
Yeah.
We had a conversation actually yesterday.
We should try and get him on.
We should. We should for sure.
He would definitely be open to it.
And yeah, he would. And he was basically kind of saying like they do storyboards, right? Because sometimes the people that they create films for will come back to them and say, you didn't include this in the film. And they use that storyboard to say, look, it wasn't in the storyboard, so that's why we didn't use it. It's basically proof showing them why they didn't film that, so they don't have to go back on their own dime and film it again or edit it in.
Yeah.
So I wonder how it actually works. That'd be really interesting to get. They should do a whole other show just on that.
Yeah, they could. They absolutely could. I mean, the person you're talking about, he could probably give us some insight on how maybe that kind of stuff works for little documentaries and stuff like that. But
for sure,
definitely when the show gets closer to releasing, there might be a little bit more, the insiders will get some info. Oh, they couldn't show this. I mean, you don't want anyone being caught on camera saying something they said by accident, didn't mean to say.
Very true.
Whatever.
Hot mic everywhere, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another disaster. I'm not saying that the Leafs and Amazon, that is a disaster because they probably expected them to go far.
You're right. I forgot that this was actually a disaster.
But I don't think anyone expected this to happen. People had kind of seen it in the tea leaves, and we're talking about Lionel Messi leaving Barca.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
I mean,
first time since he was 13 years old.
5-6 months ago. Before he
last season.
Right, it was last season. They were trying, like, he wanted to leave, right? Remember?
He wanted to leave, didn't like where the club was going. Right. They fired a president. Oz, we would get you to look this up, but this might be confusing.
It's okay, don't even bother. Honestly, it's not that important. Honestly, it's all good. I'm telling you.
But
it's not that important.
We've gave disclaimers before. We just talk shit. There's no facts. No, it's okay. You're good.
Correct.
Leo Messi had, been very vocal for the first time ever. Right. He's a guy you never hear of, just shows up and is the GOAT.
Does his job, sometimes evades taxes, but a good guy otherwise.
That's the province in Spain there. But anyway, so he was very vocal, and they're like, oh my gosh, Messi might actually leave Barca, a club where he's been since he was a child. They brought him over, the whole nine. And then it actually goes to fruition, but as you were saying, the lead up, he had called out the president of the team. You're spending too much money. You're making dumb decisions, blah, blah, blah. I believe they had fired the president, someone in the team that makes big decisions.
Right.
Gone out, made him kind of happy. Right. They restructured a deal, stayed for another year, and then he said, we'll see where it goes.
Right.
Played the whole season. They did what they did.
And he wanted to stay.
He allegedly had signed a new deal for obviously a ridiculous amount of money.
Right.
But we should have looked this and studied this up because there's so many little financial rules on it's basic, and people were trying to put it in basketball terms. It was like Michael Jordan got sold by the Bulls so the Bulls can have cap space, or Barcelona is so in debt they can't afford to pay Messi even if he takes half his wages, and the president of the league is not going to allow them to spend over the amount. They're basically in debt, and they're trying to give out money they don't have because of the dumb decisions they made year over year.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like 2008, 2009 financial crisis. You're leaning yourself too far.
Yeah,
you're leveraging yourself. You're borrowing too much. And then eventually the regulatory agencies, the government has to come down and say, hey, listen, you can't be doing that anymore. And they have to axe that deal. And I mean, it sucks, but it's sad to see.
It's very sad to see. And I just had another point I was going to say, but I mean, it goes to show you sometimes sports is just a business at its core.
Right.
When you have a guy and people say, oh, Jordan left the Bulls, he retired young, and Gretzky got traded from Edmonton. And it's like, okay, yeah, those had happened. Gretzky getting traded from Edmonton to LA it's like, well, it's the saying in hockey, if Gretzky got traded, anybody can get traded.
Yeah.
But I don't ever think I ever thought Leo Messi would leave Barca. No matter what. Because soccer's not a sport where you just trade guys. That you got to pay the transfer fees. And there's so much more money that goes behind the scenes with it. It's not as easy to just... It's easier to leave teams if you got the money. Yeah. But it's like, this guy, he's going to go back to Barca. He's going to have a statue. They're probably going to rename the new camp after Messi.
Honestly,
straight up. It's going to happen. Right. Whether, if it's in 20 years from now or 50 years from now, the guy's going to have a shrine built outside of that stadium.
Absolutely. I mean, the name Messi was synonymous with just like Barcelona, Camp God, honestly, though. We watched some of his highlight reels today.
Man, incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I mean, there was a time where maybe I was going to admit Ronaldo might have been better, and I don't think I can ever admit that now.
There are two different players.
Two completely different players. I've always liked Leo Messi.
Yeah. Just personal preference, my kind of player that I would look.
Is it because you faced adversity there, G?
No, we won't even get into that. I just love Messi. He's just a quieter guy, not as flashy as Ronaldo off the pitch. I'm talking about.
Right.
He just literally showed up and just destroyed everyone. But he goes to Paris, and everyone had predicted that he was probably going to Paris. There weren't many teams in the running. Man City, but they had spent all their money. He's not. I never really saw him going to anywhere in Italy. Unfortunately, it's sad because the Italian league for the last couple of years has really come up, and then now they're selling off players. Coaches are leaving.
Yeah.
So you kind of hope they can turn around. But anyway, we look at PSG's move.
I mean, winning the
this
Euros,
summer,
I think would help.
Absolutely. But PSG's summer this year, they get Messi on a free transfer. Obviously, his contract was up. 35 million euros a season. They also get Donnarumma.
What a stud.
Italy.
Absolute stud.
Euro Cup champion. Super young. 22. Free transfer from Milan. 20 million goes to the for the agents, and then 12 million a season. This is in euros, obviously. They also get Ramos. Free transfer. Sergio Ramos. 15 million euros a season.
You see all those posts about how Messi and Ramos are going to be playing on the same team, and
they always used to clash.
Enemies.
By the way, El Clasico, is that really an El Clasico still? It's Barca versus Madrid,
it's
but
not Messi
no Messi, Ronaldo. There's no Xavi,
Ramos,
no Iniesta.
Exactly. There's no goats on the teams anymore.
It's
even when Iker Casillas was in net.
Yeah, it's a little different. But Neymar renewed to stay in Paris. Obviously, 36 million makes 1 million more than Messi. Believe that? Hakimi, taken from Inter Milan. 70 million on the transfer fee, 10 million a season. Great young player
Inter's
there.
Getting fleeced a little bit, eh?
It's not good for the Italian league.
Even Ericsson,
they're already calling for the owner now to sell the team. All he wants is money. They finally triumph Juve. Most teams were trying to do in the Serie A. Conte brings them Lukaku, the best striker. He leaves. Coach leaves.
Dude, did you see Lukaku's stats though? His stats are fucking unbelievable.
He's on a tear, man. He's on fire the last couple seasons. He's unreal.
He's only got I don't know what they said, 150 goals or something, and only 5 are from penalties. I don't know, some crazy stat like that in his career. So he's just a pure goal scorer.
Yeah. It's incredible, clinical. Man. It's sad. But anyway, Giorgio Wijnaldum also going from Liverpool over to PSG. If PSG doesn't win the Champions League this season, it's one of the greatest failures in all of sports.
It just sounds like the Brooklyn Nets to me.
But look, and I just wanted to bring this back to money, because you talk about money. All you need is money in soccer.
Yep.
You get these rich owners. They come from Saudi Arabia, from Russia, oil money, princes. 2012, they brought in Verratti, Ibra, Thiago Silva.
Wow.
2013, they bring David Beckham back from the MLS.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, he was okay. He was obviously at the end of his career. But also that same year, Cavani comes in, right? And I believe they had taken him from United, or he went to United not long after.
Oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah. Remember when Ezekiel Lavezzi was in PSG?
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Then in 2015, Di Maria. 2017, Dani Alves, Neymar, Mbappe. That is gross.
They
Neymar and Mbappe.
Fleecing the top teams in
2018, the man,
Forgot
the
about
myth,
that,
the
too.
legend, Gigi Buffon, leaving Juve, leaving Italy for all that time to try and chase down a Champions League, obviously failed. 2021, Messi. It's incredible. If they don't win the Champions League, they're going to make a mockery of the French league. It's going to be gross. You see all those memes going around?
They're going to be the
Neymar,
memes.
Mbappe, Messi playing around, and it's like a guy he's like an adult, and it's just like a group of 15-year-olds. There's like 20 of them trying to chase the ball, and they're just deking around them. That's what the French league is going to be like.
I've seen that.
It's going to be wild.
It's going to be a mess.
Good one, Mike. Hold on. Wait for it. That wasn't it. Shit. I don't know. I lost.
was like, no, what is that? What's that? That's not the right one. Whatever. The time has passed.
The time has passed.
That's not it either, but that's okay.
Time will not pass for the Toronto Raptors fans when they see Goran Dragic hit the floor for the first time after what he had said.
Yeah, there's going to be 2 hits. Me hitting his face and him hitting the floor.
No, what's that from again?
I don't know.
It's like, there's going to be one little action. Me hitting his face and him hitting the ground. It doesn't matter. But Goran Dragic apparently had made comments saying, in a nutshell, paraphrasing, I don't want to be here. Toronto's not my preferred destination. I got bigger plans.
It was like the first thing he said to the media.
Well, it was in a different... No, it was from a different... it was in Slovenia or wherever he's from. I think he's Slovenian.
I think he's Serbian.
Serbian? No, the Slovenian national right there.
Oh, no shit.
Boom.
Wow.
But he obviously had to backtrack his words and, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. But look, you said what you said. You know how many people have said they don't want to come to the Raptors?
Yeah,
Kawhi was one of them.
I was just going to say, Kawhi said the exact same
But
thing.
the difference with Dragic and Kawhi... Dragic, you know what? Pack your shit.
Yeah,
leave.
get the
We
fuck
got
outta
our
here.
ring.
You're
We got our
washed,
title.
bro.
We don't need you.
You're
Get the fuck out of here.
all the time.
Dragon? Who are you? Lyoto Machida? The Dragon?
How to Train Your Dragic. That was remember when that was my
I do.
fantasy
Your
name
fantasy
forever?
team name.
Yeah,
Fuck that guy. Yeah. But with Kawhi, when he said it, it's like, come on, Kawhi, please. Because they're just on a different level.
But yeah,
Kawhi's a superstar.
He's allowed to say it because he's built up the reputation,
Yeah, Kawhi.
Yeah, legend. I mean,
So he tried to backtrack his words, the
does he have a
Dragon
contract
here.
yet?
No, he does not. But he's probably going to stay in LA.
That's what I thought too.
Dragic said, my message basically to all Toronto fans is I would like to apologize. It didn't come out the right way. I know they love their team and they should... I don't know if this is how he talks, by the way. And they should be proud. It's one of the best organizations in the NBA. They've already won the championship and I didn't. So what I said, it was really not appropriate.
It really was not appropriate.
Yeah, he said it. It's like when Dwayne Casey... Remember when Dwayne Casey got fired? Let's try and find the clip.
Oh yeah,
he got fired.
I remember that.
It was in the off season, and he had him back on TSN, and they were saying, Detroit's a city that's got a lot of championship pedigree and history. Guess what happened?
Yeah,
Raps won a chip that year.
Right, I totally fucking remember that, dude. He was like slagging the Raps, and you know what? The Raps kind of did boss Casey a little dirty, like coach of the year, and then they fired him the same year he won.
Yeah,
coach
absolutely.
Of the year, I totally remember that quote though when he was saying about how being in Detroit is just completely different because they have championship pedigree.
Here it is.
Where's
right
Detroit
here.
now? Literally like last place. Sorry,
They got first overall, and
Correct.
that means you're trash.
They have like their star players Kyle Kuzma, Spencer Dinwiddie,
Washington.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spencer Dinwiddie's not a bad player, dude. I had him in
he's
fantasy.
good.
He's a good player.
He's good.
Oz, can you hit the camera? Let's put your skills to the test here and try not to knock the tripod, which you just did. But anyway, so Dwayne Casey, he was asked about, what happens if you could face the Raps in the first round. So this is basically what he said. This is a storied franchise. It's not, what do you mean? Hit it again. All right. This is a storied franchise. There are 3 championship trophies you see every time you walk into the building. It's not like in Toronto where they've never tasted it. Guess what, Dwayne? Have a taste of your own medicine, buddy.
When have you... I don't know. I'm not going to talk about Dwayne's career. I don't know if he's won a championship.
He did as a defensive coach with the Mavericks in 2010.
Okay.
I love Dwayne Casey, but
I do too.
it was those comments kind of throw it back in the face. So a lot of people take shots at Toronto. Just don't do it.
Come on.
It'll bite you in the face.
Come on, man.
Do you want to see Dragic actually suit up for the Raps, or are you cool with seeing Fred VanVleet, Malachi Flynn back there?
I don't think we need Dragic. There was a time. I mean,
Well, it'd be nice to have him some depth, come off the bench.
Well, so there was
Allen
like,
Iverson will come off the bench.
Before he said that shit, I was excited because I was a kind of like a halfway Dragic fan a little bit. But after that, like I don't want someone on my team who doesn't want to be there.
But he said he's sorry, man.
I mean,
He said he's sorry.
he's sorry that he got caught saying it.
Absolutely. Just down the street at the Rogers Center, the Blue Jays, Toronto Blue Jays, absolutely on fire right now. Winners 11 of the last
Since they
14.
returned to Toronto.
Absolutely. It feels like 2015, 2016 again. Just want to give a quick shout out. And the Horns.
Man, that was a wild time. Man.
It was. Did you know they won last night? This is past future, 2 days ago. So Tuesday night, they had played in LA as the home team. They were doing a doubleheader because of a game that got rained out. They had to make up for it. LA wasn't going to travel all the way to Toronto just to play one game. Did you know the Blue Jays have now won 4 games in 4 different states as the home team?
Wild.
Canada, if you want to count that as a state, that's what they'll say in the U.S. Canada, Florida, New York because of Buffalo, Florida, Dunedin,
and California,
and then California.
Yeah, fair.
Pretty crazy.
Has that ever happened?
I mean,
as the home team,
if a team has moved a stadium more than 3 times,
probably not.
And like different states,
there's never been COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there was a Spanish flu. That was that was around in the early 1900s when baseball was like 1850s or whatever it was.
That's true.
So the
wrist nub.
Yeah, Mike had his sport drink and he dropped it, and just a little wrist nub.
Just did that.
Someone hit me up that watches the podcast, and they said, you need to see this. So last week we had talked about the duct tape guy, the guy who got duct taped to his seat, and we had brought up if it was real or real or not, and apparently it was very real, Mike.
It's on Global News. Is that real?
They did the interview, so we're going to play the video clip.
No shit.
And this is what we make of the guy whose grandfather is allegedly worth $2 million.
How did I miss this? Well, I follow this account too.
Causing sheer chaos in the air. And it got so bad that flight attendants had to duct tape the man to his seat.
Yeah.
Ever since masks were required on airplanes, flight attendants say that their work
is this guy a real flight attendant?
Buddy.
Now understand something. I'm a flight attendant. That means
There's no way that guy's a real flight attendant.
I messed it up, but I was going to look up. There's a full interview clip of that guy.
I've seen it. It's got to be fake.
Well, we'll play it for the people, and they can know if that's real or real or not.
Dude, watch.
Yeah, I just want to...
Understand something. I'm a flight attendant. That means I attend the flights. Sometimes our job has us attending to crazy people. If you push us too far, you're going to have to attend this ass whooping. You see, because on this particular flight, I'm sitting in the jump seat and I'm just looking at him act a damn fool. He's spitting and cussing and going crazy. I say, that's enough. I got up and I walked over there. And by the way, this man smelled like a pack of Marlboro cigarettes, 4 shots of Everclear alcohol, and regret. Something's about to go down. At this point, he touching all over my coworker's breast. And where he f***ed up at is when he touched my titties.
Come on, titties. That would have been the perfect Rampage Jackson sound clip right there. But Alfredo Rivera. Shout out, Fredo.
What? That's his name?
What? Did you not just see
that was his name?
It said Alfredo Rivera. That's why I was going to type in Alfredo
up.
Rivera to get the full clip, but that was the full clip that we wanted to play.
That's the name of that dude, right?
Which dude?
I'm pretty sure that's the name of that dude that went to our university.
I think you might be right.
Alberto.
It was
but bro. Oh, shit.
Alfredo.
Legend. Cheeks clapping.
Alfredo, is he the one who would always say something and then you disagree and then he would agree with you?
Correct.
That was Alfredo.
Yeah.
Tom Brady sucks at football. Actually, I think he's not bad.
Yeah, me too.
I think you're right. Yeah.
One of those.
That's pretty jokes. All right.
I love Man United. I hate Man United. Me too. I fucking hate them. They're the worst.
God, I hate people like that. So we had brought up Would You Rather because we're told we got to play some games, right? So
yeah, we'll do
some Would You Rather. Actually, do you want to do some Would You Rather first, or do you want to bring up what you texted me and said, don't look at this? What do you think is more enticing to people? You know what? We said Would You Rather. Let's do a few Would You Rather.
Would You Rather? Because
all right?
This is a mind blower. Maybe we can incorporate this. I don't know what the big science fact of the day is, but maybe we can somehow incorporate it with it.
It might be something pretty close, but anyway, Would You Rather? So a random number between 1 and 250. 108. It's a number 108. So we're going to go down to Would You Rather question number 108. And it is, would you rather go vegan for a month or only eat meat and dairy for a month?
I'm going vegan for a month. Easy.
Easy, you say? Why so easy?
dude.
You got hold on. For what we got to
Meat
back up our
and
claim,
dairy?
obviously. Yeah. You don't like a good steak?
I like a good shit,
Beef?
and that's not going to help me there, you know? Like
chicken counts as meat. That's meat.
Yeah, meat is like, I would say chicken, beef, pork, fish, any type of fucking animal you want to eat.
Do you remember in the office when they're having
Goose?
the bachelor
raising a
party,
goose?
the bachelor party in the warehouse, and they're cooking the steaks on the foreman grill?
And the same one that Michael grilled his foot on?
Exactly. And Michael comes out and he goes, all right, who wants man meat? Dwight goes, I do. I want some man meat. Hilarious. But anyway,
Dude,
I think I'd have to go meat and dairy. I love my cheese. Love a good glass of milk. Not really. I mean, with cookies.
Yeah, but only meat and dairy? What's for breakfast?
Steak and egg. Steak.
Eggs would probably count as poultry if you want to count that as
so
meat,
no chicken.
So steak and eggs.
So no chicken? Yeah, steak and eggs.
Chicken's allowed too.
Yeah?
Meat.
Okay,
Meat.
so steak and eggs?
You can have steak and eggs. If you want.
Steak and cheese?
You can have steak and cheese. No bread, I guess.
No bread.
So how are you going to do with no bread and pasta, you fucking wop? Because I know you survive on that.
Dude,
Every time I message him, he's like, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm just about to make some pasta. Every time. I'm like, how are you not as big as I am?
Breakfast, lunch, and
Like, straight up. I don't get it.
It's good. I don't know.
It is good. I agree.
Yeah, I'd probably just have a lot of steak, a lot of burgers. Nope. Sans bun. Sans bun.
No lettuce wrap either. No, I don't even know if you can put like tomato on it.
No, because that's not meat or
You
dairy.
can load up with like 8 cheeses.
Yeah, you could. Are you still going with vegan? It sounds like you want to switch over.
Want to know why? Because I can have a sandwich. A sandwich.
A
sandwich.
What are you going to put in there? Dirt and leaves?
Vegetables.
Bread and just lettuce.
You could put lots of stuff. You could put avocado,
BLT. You're just going to have an LT? You're going to have an LTA?
Salt, pepper, avocado, tomatoes, some lettuce, some onions, some bean sprouts. You can throw like a vegan dressing
what's in
on
mayonnaise?
there.
Doesn't mayonnaise have some animal
have a
product?
vegan dressing. Mayonnaise
Yeah, no,
has,
vegan. Vegan is very different from vegetarian.
There's vegan mayo, okay? There's vegan mayo out
That's
there.
all crap. You're going to eat all that crap?
They use olive oil. It's not crap. They use olive oil
egg
instead
yolk
of
is
egg
in mayo?
yolks. There's the Hellman's olive oil vegan version.
Hellman's.
Okay, give me a toasted tomato sandwich with vegan mayo. I'll eat that for a month.
All right. You're going vegan. I'm sticking with
You know
the
what?
meat
We
and
should
dairy.
try it. We should try it
For a month and
We
just
should do it for a week.
document it?
Want to do it for a week?
Yeah, we could try it. Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, I do need to lose some weight, so
Listen,
I'm down to do something.
I ate pretty much like vegan, dairy free. Other than meat, I ate pretty much dairy free for like a month and a half to 2 months, like recently.
I bet your stomach thanked you for that one.
It did. And not only that, I actually lost a good amount of weight doing it. And I felt great. And I can't imagine just eating meat and dairy straight for a month.
My dad, at one point in his fluctuating diets,
Our buddy.
he ate just meat and fat, and he lost over 100 pounds.
I did keto.
Yeah.
It was basically meat and dairy. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And that's probably what destroyed my stomach to begin with. But we know Oz, OG Oz.
Yes.
His brother, he was telling me he's on the carnivore diet, and he just eats meat, just pounds of meat.
Really?
And he's
Older
lost-
brother or
yeah,
middle brother?
Older, and he's
No
lost.
way.
He said he lost like 20 or 30 pounds doing it.
Wow.
So
Shout out.
wild shit. Anyway,
That is wild.
Let's do another one.
All right, let's roll the dice. 148. Number 148. There's so many. I can't wait till we get through almost all of
Yeah,
them.
they're great. We should mark down which ones we do though.
Yeah. So Oz, can you write that down? 108 off. I think you can probably pick. No.
Yeah,
okay.
you could probably remove certain ones.
108 and 148. 148. Would you rather live in a house haunted by friendly ghosts or be a ghost reliving your average day after you die? Wow, that's a cool one.
I mean, there's no way I'm coming back to be a ghost just to fucking go to work 9 to 5 every day. You better.
That's a very good point.
You better believe I'm hanging out with my ghost friends in the house. That's like my dream. I want to see ghosts, man. That's like I'm pretty sure I have.
It
seen
is
them,
friendly
but-
ghosts. Yeah, me too.
yeah, that's another story.
Yeah, we can get into a different. Oh yeah. I think I'd have to go with you on that one. You pretty much nailed it out of the
Hey man,
park.
you want to
on
live in
that
the house
one.
with me with the friendly ghosts?
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. Sick.
Like I mean, to be someone to just relive your average day. Like I mean, I'm cool after that. Like once I die, like let it die out.
Yeah, you know, let me rest. I mean, you're not trying to work me to death after I'm dead. I mean, come on. Man.
Exactly. All right, so that's number 2. We'll do another one. Let's roll the dice.
Great. I saw Kanye West's name in there somewhere, and it got me excited.
Yeah,
so.
I've seen so many just glancing at them.
Okay. Number 6.
Wow, number 6, my lord. All the way back to the top. So number 6. Would you rather be in jail for 5 years or be in a coma for a decade?
Jail easily, because I would just work out every day and come back out with a 6-pack. Who did that? Someone recently, a rapper. Went in jail. He was a thick boy.
Are you confident you're making it out? Or you're making it out alive in 5 years?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? All right.
I'll do what I got to do. I'm not going to go any further than that.
Don't you think it'd be kind of cool, though, to be sleeping for 10 years and then you wake up and... I mean,
maybe if it's maybe if it's like a voluntary induced coma,
for sure.
Like,
put you in like a cryo chamber for 10 years.
There's a guarantee, yeah.
Okay, I know what that face
Cryo
is
chamber,
for.
yeah.
A little tease to what we're gonna bring up.
Okay, that's pretty crazy.
I forgot the name. There's a show,
Manifest. That's
There's a
new
few
on
shows.
Netflix. Yeah,
there's a few shows.
For a few years, you're not going to want to be in a coma for 10 years.
Yeah, you know.
Well,
what?
I mean, there's pros and cons to everything.
Because if you're
what if you put your money in a stock for 10 years? You just go to sleep, don't think about it, wake up, and you got some bank.
That would be easy. Everyone
AMC finally short squeeze.
That's how people should invest. But
yes.
Not an investment advisor, right, G?
No, not at all. Not financial advisor.
Anyways, so if it was in a cryo chamber, like you mentioned, which actually brings me back to the text I sent you while you were on your way over here, then yeah, I mean, that would be pretty fucking cool. Except I want to extend it maybe to like 100 years instead of 10 years.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to sleep, 10 years, like the same bullshit still, like it's not enough. 10 years isn't enough for like.
Think about where you were in 2011 compared to now. Yeah. That's a long time, dude.
High school.
Yeah, we were graduating, grade 12 high school. Think about what's happened in that 10-year span. Lots happened. Lots changed. Lots happened, not happened.
I think I would be less depressed knowing that everyone that I knew in my lifetime was dead versus waking up 10 years later and knowing like 30 people that were close to me are dead or some shit, That's really dark that I went to. But that's kind of how I figured. That's kind of how I, and like Fry from Futurama, right? Like he was he was in a cryogenic chamber or whatever, and he woke up like 1,000 years later to like a futuristic world.
Does that directly lead to the topic you want to bring up? So we'll end Would You Rather there. So we knocked off 108, 146, and number 6?
Yes,
or 148?
148 and 6.
Okay, cool. So we'll write that down and we'll go through the lists in the future. But Mike, you had texted me this on my way over here to record.
Yeah,
and you
I'm
said,
so
don't
glad.
read it. We're going to bring it up, live reaction on the pod. Yeah. So take it away.
So yeah, I'm really glad that we actually had something that kind of tied into it. And actually, you brought it up organically. I didn't even mention that word or anything.
Improvisation.
So, yeah. So it's good. It's good when you got a buddy that's on the same wavelength as you, eh? Anyways, so
makes you want to do a, never mind.
Yeah, a podcast. Yeah. So I was on Instagram scrolling through and I was basically reading that there's a facility in Arizona that will freeze your body, right, like before you die. So they'll freeze it so that the death stages, like they pause the death, they pause the decay of your body or whatever, and they'll freeze you to a certain point where 100 years, 1,000 years down the road, when there's medical capabilities, they will basically thaw you out, cure whatever disease you have, and you can go and live the rest of your life.
And stay the same age?
So yeah,
there's got to be a lot of hoops to jump through to do that.
So listen, so what I was reading was most people will freeze only their head because they believe that in the future, like you'll be able to take your brain and basically put it into anything. Yeah, so that's what a lot of people have been doing. It costs $80,000 for them to basically store your brain.
Dude,
but it's really, really cool. So it uses something called cryonics, right? Alcor is the name. You got it up there. It says cryonics is the practice of preserving life by pausing the dying process using sub-freezing temperatures with the intent of restoring good health with medical technology in the future. Okay, so this company's been around for over 40 years.
49 years right here, yeah.
I mean,
But
they
in
got some
19
crazy.
I was just
crazy
looking at that
doctors
guy,
and
Aubrey
stuff.
de Grey.
Like that guy looks like he was in what's that Tiger show, Tiger King? Like he looks like he was in Tiger King. She looks like an ex-porn star.
Yeah,
I mean,
what the hell?
I don't know.
182 patients, 1,300. So
49. So they've been doing it for 49 years,
Hold on.
almost 50 years.
they have 1,300 members, but 182 patients. Is that currently 182 people frozen?
Correct. And actually, a famous baseball player, Ted Williams or something, I think he's frozen there.
Stop.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's a real thing. And it's funny because my dad always said he doesn't want to be cremated in case in the future they can somehow tap into his brain when he's like in the ground and revive his consciousness or something. So that's what his theory is. He doesn't want to be like, cremated for that reason.
Well, for people watching on YouTube, my eyes, what the fuck? Like,
It's a real thing though. So you can go there with like terminal cancer with no cure and they will freeze you, right? If they say you're palliative, there's nothing we can do for you. You can spend whatever. I think I read somewhere it was like 400 grand for your whole body or 80 grand for your head, but you can go there. They will freeze you. They will pause the dying process at that point, and they can essentially wake you back up at a later time when hopefully they have a cure for cancer or AIDS or whatever you're trying to freeze yourself for. Doesn't that blow your mind?
I got no words, dude.
I mean, I think this is something I would actually want to invest in, not because I want to live forever, but simply because I am so curious to know what the fuck's going to go on.
Here's what I'm thinking of this whole time. So is it like a medically induced coma? If you're not dead, what the fuck is going on in your head, and what are you seeing when you're put to sleep for 1,000 years, 200 years?
Don't
what
know.
if this company goes under?
That's what I was thinking. But they have like
sorry, you gotta go. Time's up.
They have like an insurance thing where like they
You have to.
They have to keep you monitored. Look, it says like they have like all of these things, so they have all their services. It's like 24/7 around the clock monitoring and shit of like your body. It's like everyone's stored underground. So like if like the world turns to shit or like a nuke happens or something, you're not going to die underneath. Like it's some crazy shit. When will patients be revived? Who will revive them? Alcor will revive them. This is gonna be like an Umbrella Corp or something down.
Do you remember Assassin's Creed, the video game?
Yeah, of course.
The basis behind that game was they're able to tap
Remember
into
that.
ancestors' memories
using their DNA,
called the Animus, and it just tapped into their brain, and they were able to go back to their ancestors from the 1400s to figure shit out about crimes or whatever. And another video game, Fallout, the number 4. It's one of my favorite series. I play it all the time.
Fallout, the number 4.
Number 4, my lord.
Okay.
It's based on it takes place in 2200 and something. A nuke had hit, but there's a company called Vault Tech where you go into the vault and you live underground and you preserve your life.
Right.
But they have a section in there where you can freeze people. And one guy was put in there when his wife got kidnapped, he got stolen. It's the whole storyline. And you wake up 200 years later, unfrozen, and you stay the same age, and the world is completely different. And that's basically what this is, but this is actually legitimate real life.
So what I would compare it to almost is like, and I don't even know if this is real, what I'm about to say, but like if you ever watch like a sci-fi movie or a movie about space, like they have to travel to like Mars or something really far away. They go into like this sleep where they submerge them in like this water, and they have like, their nutrients and stuff fed into their arm, and they just sleep there for months and months and months until eventually they wake up. You ever see the movie Passengers with
no.
Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence? Great movie. Love it. It's kind of scary, but that's what happens, right? They're supposed to be sleeping for 25 years till they get to this planet that they're supposed to rehabilitate or whatever. And they wake up early and they're fucked basically, because by the time that everyone wakes up, they're going to be too old. So it's crazy. Like it's stuff that obviously science has figured out a way.
Well, hold on a second, because I'm reading the page, or maybe we'll do this as the big sign. Actually, no, we got to give the people what they want. But
of course,
I was just thinking, it says, what about aging and disease? And this is what it says on their website. There is no point in prolonging life if the result will be illness and debilitation. People are now living longer, healthier lives than their grandparents, and their children will live longer still. Eventually, aging itself will be treatable. That's fucked.
Treatable, reversible condition.
As medicine attains full control of the human body at the molecular level. By the time it becomes possible to revive cryonic patients, especially today's cryonic patients, biological aging as we know it today will not exist. In the 19th century, 30% of people living in Paris died of consumption, whatever that means. Today, almost no one in the industrialized world even knows what...
There you go.
They don't even know what it means.
There you fucking go.
They don't even know what it means. Oh, wrong button.
That could have worked.
But, okay, so there's that. And then I was just asking, so look at me, Mike. You want to do this? You think this is something you'd want to do?
I would do it if I had money.
Do you trust them?
There's no, and if I don't trust them, if they're, what are they going to do? Kill me?
No, but
yeah, I mean,
this is what I'm saying.
What's the worst thing that could happen?
So someone has anyone ever been revived?
Okay.
Except for embryos, no human has ever been revived from temperatures far below freezing. Chronic patients are cared for in the expected goals.
Molecular
that future technology, especially molecular nanotechnology, will be available to reverse damage associated with the cryonics process. So if there's 184 people, whatever it was, that are actually frozen, they're taking a chance.
Of course. The husband of the founder is frozen here.
Okay,
and
but
his wife still works there. Like, what?
But what happens if
you could go see him every day and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he's just like frozen in
crazy.
A vault somewhere.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A chamber.
There's probably no window. Like you could.
Wouldn't that be creepy?
That would be creepy as fuck. Yeah.
Like, what if you see him move?
It'd be like looking into a coffin that had a window.
Yeah, they froze him. You're absolutely right.
Powers?
Yeah. And he lost his mojo, and he had to go back, and he had to extract it from his frozen body. Good memory. I love that. It's a great movie.
I don't know, dude. This is just kind of...
It's crazy, eh?
To trust these people, freeze me, and then maybe I'll wake up in 400 years. And
like I said, what
if there's like a nuclear war going on? Someone's got to be like...
Are these people not going to die anyways?
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? So
but that's kind of fucked up.
But
that's kind of fucked up, no?
If I'm going to die...
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like, we have to wake you up. Look, we don't got no cure. The world's about to die.
We need more soldiers. That's probably what's going to happen.
But you're like, I didn't pay for this.
I did pay for that. I accept whatever comes out.
I don't know. That. You're paying to expect...
I'm paying for that
you're going to be revived in the future.
I'm paying for a slim chance at waking up in a... What's the word I'm looking for?
Better state?
No.
A cure?
It's like the term for
a place to be.
Post-apocalyptic world.
What do you mean?
Utopian.
Oh, a utopian society?
I'm paying for the possibility of waking up in a utopian society.
Is that what utopian means?
And wondering what happened and knowing and someone being like, this is what happened.
Well, that's how they talk to the non-playable characters in the Fallout game. Right. That's how they talk. Oh, you knew the world before the Great War is what they call it. So a utopia is an imaginary community or society that possesses highly desirable or nearly perfect. That's not. You're not.
Okay, then what am I thinking of? Utopia.
Dystopia?
Dystopia. A dystopian world. Because utopia, I mean utopia, yeah.
Dystopian society. Our society's in cataclysmic decline with characters who battle environmental ruin.
Okay, so
that's literally followed.
I don't know why I have to go so morbid all the time. Maybe I wake up and it is a utopian world, and maybe it's a dystopian world.
You're going to wake up in the land of Oz? Literally the second picture here is the poppy field in the land of Oz.
You're right. But
what was what's that? Divergent. Wasn't that a utopian society?
It was a dystopian society. It was like
a utopian society on top of a dystopian society, wasn't it?
Correct.
Because they lived like above the fucking clouds or some shit.
Right. So the district.
We should watch that.
District 1 was like a utopia, and District 12 was like a dystopia. A dystopia, I guess.
Fruitopia.
Yeah, Fruitopia, bro. Good one. Give it a whatever.
We don't have that's what I was looking for was the boom-ch. And I got rid of the boom-ch.
What do you put? Drums?
No, I put Kawhi. That's what I put.
But yeah, so I think it would just be really cool because I'm so curious about we talked about this before too about 2,000 years down the road. Where are we going to be?
I don't know, man. I really don't know. This big science fact of the week. This is actually kind of close to what we were talking about. It's this one here. So Big science.
So weird, dude, because I read something.
It's okay. You can talk. People know the intro.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just.
Yes, science. All right, let's roll it across the bottom.
You can read it.
If you took out all the empty space in our atoms, the human race could fit in the volume of a sugar cube. The atoms that make up the world around us seem solid, but are in fact over 99.99999% empty space. An atom consists of a tiny, dense nucleus surrounded by a cloud of electrons, spread over a proportionally vast area. A little tongue twister there.
It is.
This is because, as well as being particles, electrons act like waves. Electrons can only exist where the crests and troughs of these waves add up correctly. And instead of existing in one point, each electron's location is spread over a range of probabilities in orbital. They thus occupy a huge amount of space. I'm sorry, people. The light off the screen, the light there, me reading fast.
I'm sorry, I could have read it too.
I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean that. So yeah, do you understand what I said? Because I don't.
So actually, this goes back. Oz 2.0 was mentioning something in the song "Ballroom Blitz." There's a line. Ballroom Blitz. Love that song. Ballroom Blitz.
Yes, great track.
There's a line in there that says nothing really touches, man. It just kind of floats, and it's referring to this about how particles. There's always space between particles, right? So when you touch something, you're not really like there's space in between it, right? It's referring to what we just read there. How it works, I don't know, right? Because we see a physical. I see you, and you're way bigger than a sugar cube or whatever they said. So I don't know how that works, how there's so much space between particles that the entire human race can fit into the size of, say, sugar cube. Volume of a sugar cube.
Sugar cubes
don't know how that works. It's kind of
like this. They're tiny.
Again,
man.
Science has a great tool. It's a great instrument to show you how much or how little you really know about things and physics and anatomy and everything. So I read something similar. I saw something similar on Instagram. I don't know why, man. I see weird shit on Instagram. Like
it's your algorithm.
It was like if we took the human race and threw it into a huge blender, we could form a ball that's like a kilometer in radius or volume or whatever. It's a kilometer, and it could fit in Central Park in New York if we blended the entire human race. I was like, first of all, who's doing this and why? And second of all, is that factual? But like then I read something like this, and I'm like, maybe it is because like
dude, science continues to blow my mind. I came across a clip on YouTube the other night, down a rabbit hole, just out of my mind in space, and I get caught down these rabbit holes, and it was the guy's name was Brian Greene. I believe he's a doctor, a scientist. He was on Rogan's podcast, and they had talked about the Big Bang Theory, and he was basically asking, what was before the Big Bang, and Greene had said, it's either just a bunch of galaxies in time. It was like, I can't even explain. It was so mind-bending, but there was one side it's like, well, there was the time before, and maybe that's just when time started was the Big Bang. And he used the example of asking someone who's from the North Pole which way is north, because technically north is the furthest point north.
Right.
When you get to the North Pole, it's like, which way's north? It's like, well, that there's nowhere to go.
Listen.
So he was saying maybe that's when time started. And
like you can,
it's like, what the fuck?
You can ask questions, right, to humans who won't be able to conceptualize what you're actually trying to say, right? Mm-hmm. In the movie Interstellar, one of my favorite movies.
Oh my God, fantastic.
That movie.
Oz, have you seen Interstellar? No, we got to watch it.
They talk about a fourth dimension, right? So we can see one-dimensional, we can see two-dimensional shapes. So one-dimensional being like a line or a strip, 1 point. Two-dimensional being like a flat surface, like a line, 2 points meeting. Mm-hmm. Three-dimensional being like voluminous, so like an object. And then there's like a fourth dimension where you simply can't fathom it because there's no words or things to describe it that we could understand because we've never experienced it. So I'm sure there's some crazy shit that goes on, that we just can't fathom, There's explanations that we'll just simply never be able to know.
So the great scientist, Carl Sagan.
This is where I actually learned this, from this video right here.
So let me just try and play a clip of it. We're just going to play the audio because we don't want to get pulled.
And he's trying to explain to people what he saw when he was taken out of his 2-dimensional world and brought into a 3-dimensional world.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, you're crazy. There's no way. And he didn't know how to describe it because there's no words to describe it.
I picked a random point in the video, but let's see if he...
But imagine that there is a fourth physical
here we
dimension. In that case, we would generate a 4-dimensional hypercube, which is also called a tesseract. I cannot show you a tesseract because I and you are trapped in 3 dimensions.
Right.
But what I can show you is the shadow in 3 dimensions of a 4-dimensional hypercube or tesseract. This is it. And you can see it's 2 nested cubes, all the vertices connected by lines. And now the real tesseract in 4 dimensions would have all the lines of equal length and all the angles right angles. That's not what we see here, but that's the penalty of projection.
Correct.
So you see, while we cannot imagine the world of 4 dimensions, we can certainly think about it perfectly well. Now,
it's
imagine
crazy,
the universe just like...
Yeah, so that's the end of this clip, but we'll play the full clip longer, but it is mind-bending.
Really cool stuff. Like videos like that is really what got me into this stuff.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I was thinking about things like this, like, what happened, like what's outside of space, like who created space.
I think about that shit
like
all the
I was
time,
thinking about that stuff. I remember thinking about that when I was like 7 or 8 and just asking my parents, like, can you explain this shit to me? Because I need to know. It's killing me. And now, obviously, I
don't know if we're ever going to know.
That's the thing. It's just one of those...
Interstellar is a great look at kind of what Carl Sagan just talked about, what we're talking about.
Right. So that's what I mean by a 4th dimension that we can't fathom. So, crazy shit, right?
It is. It's very crazy shit.
I love that shit.
My mind, my brain is hurting right there.
Wild.
So we'll end it there. Thank you for listening or watching today's episode. If you haven't already, remember to hit the like and subscribe button, leave a rating and review.
Smash.
Ooh, my fucking mouth.
YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Also, hit us up on our social media. It's written at the bottom on every episode on YouTube. At Improversation Pod on Instagram and TikTok. At Improversation P on Twitter.
Follow me.
We're out of here. Until next week.
Oh, then get the fuck out of here then. Okay, see ya.